You stand at a crossroads, don't you? A familiar one. The path ahead promises growth, change, a breakthrough. But behind you, a shadow lingers, a shadow of past mistakes, repeated endlessly, a loop you can't seem to escape. Have you ever felt that gnawing sensation, that undeniable whisper in the back of your mind, telling you, yet again, that you're about to stumble down the same old road? The one paved with good intentions, but leading to the same frustrating dead end? You're not alone. This isn't a flaw in your character. It's a pattern embedded deep within your neural pathways, a hidden script dictating your choices, often without your conscious awareness. We've all been there. That moment when you promise yourself, this time will be different. You vow to break the cycle, to choose a new direction. Perhaps it's a relationship that always ends in the same heartache, a career opportunity you sabotage, a financial decision that leaves you regretting, or a personal habit you just can't shake. You analyze, you strategize, you even visualize success. Yet, when the critical moment arrives, you find yourself defaulting to the very behavior you swore to abandon. It's as if an invisible force tugs you back, a powerful current pulling you downstream against your will. What if I told you that this force isn't some mystical curse, but rather a deeply ingrained, often unconscious pattern, a blueprint from your past shaping your present and dictating your future? What if understanding this blueprint is the key to finally breaking free? This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about unraveling the mystery of your own mind. It's about pulling back the curtain on the hidden mechanisms that keep you stuck, revealing the unconscious forces that drive your repeated errors. Today, we're going to embark on a journey deep into the architecture of your mind, to expose why you keep repeating the same mistakes, and more importantly, how you can finally rewrite that script. This isn't just about self-help platitudes. This is about scientific insight, psychological breakthroughs, and actionable strategies. If you're tired of the same old cycle, if you're ready to confront the patterns that hold you back and forge a new path, then stay with me. This is where your breakthrough begins. And before we dive deep into the fascinating intricacies of your mind, a quick thought. If you find yourself captivated by these hidden patterns, if you're eager to unlock more secrets of the human psyche, consider subscribing to Behind Behavior. We explore these profound insights every single day. The core of this persistent problem lies in what Sigmund Freud called repetition compulsion. It's a concept first introduced by Freud, who observed that individuals often unconsciously repeat painful past experiences or situations, sometimes even actively seeking them out. Now, before you dismiss this as outdated Freudian theory, modern neuroscience and cognitive psychology have provided compelling evidence for the underlying mechanisms. It's not about fate. It's about neural pathways, learned behaviors, and the brain's incredible, yet sometimes counterproductive, efficiency. Think about it. Your brain is a master pattern recognizer. From the moment you're born, it's constantly processing information, identifying sequences, and building internal models of the world. These models, or schemas, help you navigate life efficiently. When you encounter a situation, your brain doesn't start from scratch. It pulls up the most relevant schema, the established pattern, and applies it. This is incredibly useful for everyday tasks, like knowing how to drive a car or make a cup of coffee. But what happens when those patterns are maladaptive? What happens when the schema for relationships is built on experiences of abandonment, or the schema for success is intertwined with fear of failure? These schemas are not always conscious. In fact, many of our most powerful and persistent patterns operate below the surface of our awareness. They're like deeply grooved paths in your mental landscape. The more you walk a path, the deeper the groove becomes, making it easier and more automatic to follow that path again, even if it leads you off a cliff. This is the essence of why you repeat errors. Your brain, in its attempt to be efficient and predictable, defaults to the established, familiar pattern, even if that pattern is ultimately detrimental to your well-being. Consider a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, which found that individuals often unknowingly recreate relational dynamics from their childhood in adult relationships. For example, someone who experienced a parent who was emotionally distant might unconsciously seek out partners who are also emotionally unavailable, perpetuating a cycle of unfulfilled longing, even when they consciously desire a close, intimate connection. The brain, in a strange attempt to master or resolve the original trauma or pattern, keeps replaying it. It's a psychological paradox. We repeat what hurts us, hoping this time the ending will be different. But without conscious intervention, the script remains the same. So, how do these patterns form? It's a complex interplay of early life experiences, learned coping mechanisms, and even neurobiological factors. Let's break it down. 1. Early life blueprints. Attachment and core beliefs are earliest experiences, particularly with primary caregivers, lay the foundation for our core beliefs about ourselves, others, and the world. If you grew up in an environment where your needs are consistently unmet, or where love felt conditional, you might develop core beliefs like, I am not worthy of love, I am not enough, or the world is an unsafe place. These beliefs, often form before we have a language to articulate them, become the filter through which we interpret all subsequent experiences. They dictate our expectations and, crucially, influence our choices. If you believe deep down that you are not worthy of success, you might unconsciously self-sabotage opportunities that arise, confirming your internal narrative. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, driven by an unconscious blueprint. For instance, research by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, a leading expert on trauma, highlights how early traumatic experiences can literally alter brain development, impacting emotional regulation and the ability to form secure attachments. This can lead to a predisposition to repeat painful relational patterns, as the brain's alarm system becomes hypersensitive, driving individuals towards familiar, albeit unhealthy, dynamics. 2. Learn coping mechanisms, the illusion of safety when faced with difficult situations in the past. You develop ways to cope. Some of these coping mechanisms might have been effective in the short term, but detrimental in the long run. Perhaps you learn to avoid conflict by becoming a people pleaser, or to manage anxiety by procrastinating, or to numb emotional pain through unhealthy habits. These behaviors, initially developed to protect you, become ingrained. Your brain remembers that in a stressful situation, this particular coping mechanism provided a momentary sense of relief or control. So, when a similar stressor arises, your brain automatically defaults to that familiar response, even if you know consciously that it's not serving you. It feels like safety, even when it leads to the same old problems. Consider the person who repeatedly finds themselves in financially unstable situations. Perhaps as a child, they witness their parents struggle with money, leading to a belief that scarcity is inevitable. They might develop a coping mechanism of impulsive spending when stressed, a temporary balm for anxiety, or conversely, an extreme aversion to risk that prevents them from investing in their future. Each time, the pattern reinforces itself, not because they want to be in debt, but because the underlying coping mechanism, born in early belief, continues to drive their decisions. 3. The comfort of the familiar. Even if it's painful, this is perhaps the most insidious aspect of repetition compulsion. Our brains crave predictability. Even a painful pattern, if it's familiar, can feel safer than the unknown. The circuitry for familiar actions is well established, requiring less mental effort. Stepping into the unknown, trying a new behavior, or breaking a deeply ingrained pattern requires significant cognitive energy and confronts our innate fear of uncertainty. This is why change is so hard. It's not just about willpower. It's about literally rewiring your brain, creating new neural pathways, and venturing into uncharted psychological territory. The discomfort growth often feels more threatening than the discomfort of the familiar, even if the familiar is causing you suffering. Our brain interprets novelty as a potential threat, triggering our ancient survival instincts. A study published in Neuron demonstrated how the brain's reward system can become conditioned to predictable outcomes, even negative ones. The brain anticipates the familiar, and even if that familiarity is painful, there's a certain comfort in knowing what to expect, a perverse sense of control. Breaking this cycle means consciously overriding this deeply ingrained preference for the predictable. Now, you might be thinking, this all makes sense, but how do I actually stop it? This is where the Breakthrough Now methodology comes in. It's a progressive, evidence-based approach designed to help you identify, understand, and ultimately dismantle these hidden patterns. Step 1. Unmasking the pattern. The detective work, the first step, is critical. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. This requires becoming a detective of your own life. Identify the recurring theme. Look back at your life. What are the common threads? What are the recurring mistakes? The similar outcomes in different situations. Are your relationships always ending with you feeling abandoned? Do you consistently procrastinate on important projects? Do you always find yourself in financial binds? Be specific. Instead of saying, I always mess things up, pinpoint the type asterisk of mess up. For example, I always get involved with partners who are emotionally unavailable. Or, I consistently miss deadlines despite knowing the consequences. Asterisk journaling and reflection. Dedicate time each day to journaling. Don't just write about your day. Reflect on your feelings, your reactions, and your choices, especially when a familiar pattern emerges. Ask yourself, what triggered this feeling/behavior? What was I thinking right before I made that choice? What was the underlying fear or belief driving this? This isn't about judgment. It's about observation. Asterisk pattern tracking. Create a simple chart. Column 1, situation/trigger. Column 2, my automatic reaction/behavior. Column 3, consequence/outcome. Column 4, underlying emotion/thought. Track this for a week or two. You'll be amazed at the clarity this brings. You might start to see, for example, that every time you feel overwhelmed at work, trigger, you reach for unhealthy food automatic reaction, which leads to guilt and low energy consequence, driven by a feeling of inadequacy, underlying emotion. Exercise. Take a moment right now. Think of one recurring error in your life. Just one. Write it down. Now, try to identify the very first time you remember encountering a similar situation or feeling. This isn't about finding a definitive cause, but about beginning to trace the lineage of the pattern. Step 2. Understanding the root. The why behind the what. Once you've identified a pattern, the next crucial step is to understand its psychological roots. This is where we connect the dots back to those early life blueprints and learn coping mechanisms. Asterisk explore core beliefs. What core belief might be driving this pattern? If you repeatedly self-sabotage career opportunities, could it stem from belief that I am not competent enough, or success leads to overwhelming responsibility that I can't handle? If you consistently attract emotionally unavailable partners, could it be linked to a belief that I am not worthy of consistent love, or intimacy is dangerous? This introspection can be challenging, as these beliefs are often deeply buried and feel like undeniable truths. Asterisk identify the payoff. Even if it's negative, every behavior, even self-defeating ones, serves a purpose. What payoff does this repeated error provide, however perverse? Does procrastinating give you a brief illusion of control or allow you to avoid potential criticism? Does staying in an unhealthy relationship provide a sense of familiarity or validate a core belief about your unworthiness? This isn't about rationalizing behavior, but understanding its unconscious function. For example, a payoff for someone who repeatedly gets into debt might be the temporary thrill of acquiring new things, or a subconscious way to keep themselves small and avoid perceived pressures of wealth. Asterisk trauma-informed lens. For some, recurring patterns are deeply rooted in past trauma. If you've experienced significant trauma, it's vital to recognize that your brain's response is a survival mechanism. Seeking support from a trauma-informed therapist can be incredibly beneficial here. They can help you process these experiences and develop healthier coping strategies without judgment or re-traumatization. Remember, trauma isn't just about major catastrophic events. It can also be the cumulative effect of smaller, repeated emotional hurts. Exercise. For the recurring error you identified in step 1, ask yourself, what belief about myself or the world does this pattern seem to confirm? And then, what hidden benefit or protection might this pattern be offering me? Be brutally honest with yourself. The answers may surprise you. Step 3. Disrupting the cycle. Conscious interruption. Now that you've unmasked and understood your patterns, it's time to actively disrupt them. This is where the rubber meets the road, where conscious choice begins to override unconscious programming. Asterisk mindful awareness. The pause the moment you recognize a familiar trigger or feel the pull of the old pattern. Pause. This pause is your superpower. It creates a tiny gap between stimulus and response, a window of opportunity where you can choose a new path. It might be a physical pause, taking a deep breath, stepping away from the situation, or a mental pause, simply observing the urge without acting on it. This is where mindfulness comes in. By practicing mindfulness, you train your brain to observe your thoughts and feelings without immediately reacting to them, giving you that crucial moment to intervene. Asterisk pattern interruption techniques. Asterisk physical interruption. If you always grab your phone when you feel anxious, try standing up and walk into another room or doing 10 jumping jacks. Break the physical chain of the habit. Asterisk cognitive interruption. When a negative thought pattern begins, challenge it. Ask, is this thought truly factual, or is an old story my brain is telling me? Use a mantra, I am choosing differently now. Asterisk environmental change. If a certain environment triggers a pattern, e.g., your desk for procrastination, change your environment. Work in a coffee shop, or simply rearrange your workspace. Asterisk if-then planning. This is a powerful technique from implementation intentions research. Identify a trigger, and then pre-decide your new response. If I feel overwhelmed at work, then I will take a 5-minute walk outside. If my partner starts to distance themselves, then I will calmly express my feelings instead of withdrawing. Studies have shown that if-then plans can increase goal attainment by 200 to 300% because they automate the new behavior, making it less reliant on willpower in the moment. Exercise. For your identified recurring error, brainstorm 3 different ways you could physically, cognitively, or environmentally interrupt that pattern the next time arises. Write them down. The more options you have, the more empowered you'll feel. Step 4. Rewiring the brain. Building new pathways disruption is only half the battle. The other half is actively building new, healthier neural pathways. This is about creating new, positive patterns that will eventually become your new defaults. Asterisk conscious practice of new behaviors. This is where repetition becomes your ally, rather than your enemy. Just as you repeated old errors until they became ingrained, you must now consciously and consistently practice new, desired behaviors. The more you walk a new path, the deeper its groove becomes. This requires discipline and patience. It won't feel natural at first, and you will likely slip up. That's okay. The key is to get back on track immediately, without self-judgment. Asterisk positive reinforcement. Reward yourself for choosing new behaviors, even small wins. Your brain responds to rewards. This can be anything from a moment of self-congratulation to a small treat, to acknowledging your progress in your journal. This strengthens the new neural pathways associated with positive actions. Asterisk visualization and mental rehearsal. Your brain often can't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Spend time each day visualizing yourself successfully navigating the challenging situations where your old patterns used to emerge. See yourself making the new, healthy choices. Feel the positive emotions associated with those choices. This primes your brain for success. Asterisk seeking support and accountability. You don't have to do this alone. Share your goals with a trusted friend, family member, or mentor. Consider joining a support group or working with a therapist or coach. External accountability can be a powerful motivator, and having someone to process challenges can significantly increase your chances of success. They can offer a different perspective and help you identify blind spots. Exercise. Choose one new, positive behavior you want to cultivate to replace your old pattern. Commit to practicing it daily for the next week. It could be something as simple as taking 10 deep breaths when you feel triggered, or responding to an email immediately instead of procrastinating. Track your progress. Step 5. Cultivating self-compassion. The foundation of lasting change. This final step is perhaps the most crucial. The journey of breaking old patterns and building new ones is not linear. There will be setbacks. There will be moments where you fall back into old habits. This is inevitable. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck often lies in their response to these setbacks. Asterisk embrace imperfection. Perfectionism is the enemy of progress. Understand that growth is messy. Instead of berating yourself for a slip-up, view it as valuable data. What can I learn from this? What was the trigger I missed? Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend who is struggling. Research by Dr. Kristin Neff, a leading expert on self-compassion, shows that self-compassion is a stronger predictor of motivation and well-being than self-esteem. It allows us to acknowledge our pain and imperfections without judgment, fostering resilience. Asterisk practice self-forgiveness. Holding on to guilt or shame about past mistakes only reinforces negative self-beliefs and makes it harder to move forward. Forgive yourself for past errors, understanding that you are operating from a place of unconscious programming, and learn coping mechanisms. Every moment is a new opportunity to choose differently. Asterisk celebrate progress, not just perfection. Acknowledge every small step forward. Did you pause for a moment before reacting? That's a win. Did you choose a slightly healthier option than usual? That's a win. Did you pick yourself up after a setback without falling into a spiral of self-criticism? That's a massive win. These small celebrations reinforce the new pathways and build momentum. Remember, you are not defined by your past patterns. You are not condemned to repeat the same mistakes indefinitely. You have the power to understand, disrupt, and rewrite the script of your life. This process takes courage, patience, and unwavering self-compassion. It's a journey, not a destination. But with each conscious choice, with each intentional step, you are literally rewiring your brain, forging new pathways to a future where you are the conscious architect of your destiny. We've journeyed deep into the hidden patterns of your mind today, uncovering the psychological mechanisms behind why you keep repeating the same errors. We've explored the concept of repetition compulsion, understood how early life blueprints, attachment and core beliefs, and learned coping mechanisms, the illusion of safety, lay the foundation, and identify the insidious comfort of familiar, even painful patterns. But most importantly, we've outlined a clear, actionable path forward, the Breakthrough Now methodology. From unmasking your patterns through meticulous detective work, to understanding their roots and the subtle payoffs they offer, to consciously disrupting the cycle with mindful awareness and if-then planning, and finally, to actively rewiring your brain through consistent practice and self-compassion. Every step is a vital component of your transformation. This isn't about magical thinking. It's about applying proven psychological principles to reclaim agency over your life. The patterns you've observed, the frustrations you felt, they are not your fate. They are signals, invitations to look deeper, to understand more, and to choose differently. The power to break free lies within you. Now, armed with this knowledge and these strategies, the time for passive observation is over. The time for genuine, transformative action is now. Don't let another day pass by allowing these hidden patterns to dictate your life. Take that first step. Identify one recurring error. Begin tracking it. Ask yourself the tough questions about its roots. And then, consciously, deliberately, choose one new action to disrupt it. This is your moment. This is your breakthrough. If you found this exploration illuminating, if you're ready to delve even deeper into the hidden patterns that shape human behavior, if you crave more insights that empower you to understand yourself and others on a profound level, then don't just watch. Become part of our community. Subscribe to Behind the Behavior right now. Click that notification bell so you never miss another breakthrough. Share this video with someone you know who might be caught in their own cycle. Your journey towards profound self-understanding and lasting change starts here, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. What pattern will you break today? Tell us in the comments below. Your future self will thank you.